perfect cheat code. Social distance, shawty, don't get close to people.
Hey YouTube, how's life? So today's video, I'm gonna have to do a brief little intro, and by brief, I'm not sure how brief is gonna be, but I'm gonna try my best. I had a dog for about 14 years. Her name was Ree, and she was the best dog in the world, the best dog I could have ever asked for.
You're gonna wanna be my best friend, baby. You're gonna wanna be my best friend.
And in high school, I think when I was a sophomore, I actually got a second dog, and his name is Grover. Literally the first week of January 2021, my older dog Gree passed away unexpectedly, and obviously this was devastating. The entire household was incredibly somber for the next 2 months, and this really affected my dog Grover and we kind of spent all of our free time together, but I knew no matter how much time I spent with him, I would never be the equivalent to another dog. My mom and I, we talked it out, and we decided to adopt another dog, as you could probably guess from the title of this video, and we basically just made a list of qualities and traits that we would want in a dog and what we couldn't have in a dog. The decision to adopt another dog, however, was the easiest part of this whole operation. That was the struggle, and let me explain. So just as a little reminder, in case you're watching this far off into the future, this whole thing is set January 2021 to like March 2021. We're still in the peak of the pandemic, right? My main source of finding different dogs was through this website called Pet Finder. This is not sponsored by Pet Finder, but let me explain how this works. Pet Finder is honestly kind of like the Craigslist for animals, like shelter animals, but it's not sketchy like Craigslist. This is actually reliable. I decided to only just look in state because a lot of the shelters that were in like Connecticut or New Hampshire, they weren't adopting out to Massachusetts residents or out-of-state residents, so to just make my life easier, I just stuck to in-state. Since you couldn't just walk into a shelter, what I had to do is I had to fill out a lot of adoption applications, and I say a lot because I had to go back to the drawing board several times. In fact, I had to go back so many times, it was pretty much a relay race. A family friend actually had a litter of puppies, and that was the first dog that we were looking at, but we were really hesitating on getting this dog because this dog was going to be a toy-sized dog, and what that means, these are like the dogs that can fit in a purse. Very small dog. I was going back and forth because I had just lost. She wasn't a toy-sized dog, but she was a very small dog. One of our biggest priorities was it needed to be compatible with our current dog Grover, and he's a much bigger dog. He's like 65, 70 pounds. I think like 70 pounds. We needed a dog that could run and really keep up with him. Ultimately, when we decided to check in and be like, hey, is this dog still available? It was no longer available. The next one was this very sweet girl. I think she was like part Labrador Retriever or something. She looked very sweet. Filled out an application, and this was a very long application. Filled it out, got approved to be an adopter. However, it was a separate thing. Make an appointment, meet a dog, see if it's compatible with Grover, and by the time I got approved to be a potential adopter, the dog I was looking at got adopted. After scrolling through Pet Finder for what felt like centuries, even though it really wasn't that long, I found this one dog who I thought was absolutely adorable. What really caught my attention is that she had these little markings that look like eyebrows. I love when dogs have these markings. I just think it's so cute. But I read the description. She had pretty much everything that we wanted in a dog. It was a female, so right size, medium energy, in state, and so I checked back the next day, and this dog was still there, miraculously. So I was like, it's a match made in heaven. So I filled out an application that day, sent it in. 24 hours later, my adoption application got approved, and they said the dog was ours. And this is more or less my raw reaction. Okay, so literally we got the news yesterday evening that we got approved for adoption for this puppy, and I'm so excited. So basically 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, I filled out a dog application, and I've been looking for dogs for about a month now, and so I filled out an application for this one dog. They're located in, I guess it'd be considered like technically Eastern Massachusetts. I'm not even joking when I say that. There are like a handful of shelters that I would check every single day for new dogs, and I've filled out, I want to say 3 applications so far, which doesn't sound like a lot, but each application, they were like long applications. At the same time, if it is a longer application, then that means that the organization or the shelter that adopting a dog from is really taking into consideration whether or not you are a good candidate for a dog. So on that front, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, basically, I think it was 2 days ago. Actually, from today, it was 3 days ago. I filled out a dog application, and I've been looking at this puppy for a couple days before that, and then I showed it to my mom, and I kept being like, hey, listen, I think that this dog dog could be a good fit, because we've been very specific about the kind of dog that we want, because we have some factors that, we have to take into consideration, or else we may not be the best candidate for certain dogs. I have no idea how large the dog that we ended up getting is. We don't know what breed they are, so we don't know how big they're going to be. We're kind of crossing our fingers, hoping that they're not going to go over 70 pounds, but I really don't know what to expect. I'm assuming, since she's like about 20 pounds at 6 months old, I don't think she's going to be over 70 pounds. I'm not going to jinx it because I don't know. So today I'm gonna be placing a chewy.com order, and we're just gonna pray that this comes in time. My initial plan was to get the dog bowls before I place this order, because even though the website says that it should ship 1 to 3 days, I don't know if that's actually super reliable because of two things. One, because of the pandemic, shipping is always having problems, and two, the weather in New England is just not great because it is in fact the middle of winter, so we do get a fair amount of snowstorms, and we just had I think 2 or 3 snowstorms back to back, and I have no idea what the weather is going to be for this coming week because I broke my phone, so it's a lot less convenient now to check the weather. I mean, I guess I could just look it up. So what I think I'm ordering from Chewy is, I think I'm going to be getting 2 bowls. I might end up only using the one, but they're both super affordable, so it's not like I'm breaking the bank. The reason I'm getting 2 for now is just because I don't know if Grover is going to right away be okay with sharing water bowls. So just in case he gets a little possessive with the water bowl, I want to make sure that the new puppy I'm going to drink water from, because that is very important. And food mats. This one's actually interesting because I usually see ones that are like rubber or silicone. So the idea is they spill the water, you can just wipe it off. This one's more of a towel kind of texture, and so you can wash it, put it in the washing machine and dryer. And I'm getting some chew toys. I'm gonna get 2 because I need to get something for Grover as well, or he's gonna get jealous, so I'm gonna make sure I get something for him as well. I'm ordering a dog tag online because I didn't know you could do that. I don't know why I never thought to just order it online, but because I've always gone to my local pet store and just had them make one there. You can buy them online. I forgot that's an option. Another thing I have is just one of those dental puppy chew toy things, and then I'm getting some jumbo dog training pads. They're supposed to be 28 by 30. My logic was the bigger the puppy pad the better, because then I can just cover more space with it. I have one more thing to talk about, and then we can go, promise. Okay, and then the last thing I'm getting from Chewy, oh buddy, I know. Okay, so the last thing I'm getting are just some apple stick things for my rabbit, basically chew toys for my rabbit. So let me just do a SparkNote version of everything. Basically, I think I filled out the application on a Tuesday. Not that matters that much for the point of the story, and then I either filled it out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then they responded, I believe, on a Thursday, and they were like, heck yeah, can you get the dog next week? And we were like, okay, great, that's amazing, that's really fast. And so then I spent that weekend kind of getting all the supplies, and that's when I put in my Chewy order, and I went to a bunch of different pet stores and places that sell pet goods. I bought the bowls, the leashes, and all of that stuff. And then I think Sunday or Monday night, maybe it was Tuesday night of the next week, we got an email that was like, hey, actually we can't bring your puppy up because she tested positive for parasites. So yeah, they did take her to a vet, and the vet prescribed them medication, and so the foster family is taking care of the puppy right now. That was a couple weeks ago. It is now March 9th, so I believe all of that happened the last week of February, maybe the second to last week of February. In the meantime, I've just kind of been slowly chipping away, gathering a little bit more supplies, doing more research on bringing a puppy home, and just trying my best to sort of keep my room and parts of the living room in as best shape as possible. I still have to do a deep cleaning. I'm going to be doing that this weekend, a deep cleaning of the living room and kitchen. It's just kind of been a long process, but as of now, I believe she's going back to the vet either today or within the next couple days to see if she is all cleared to travel, and then once she's cleared to travel, she's going to get her travel papers, and then Monday of next week, she should be traveling up, which I believe is the 15th. She'll be traveling from Alabama to Massachusetts, and then we'll pick her up on Friday, and Thursday of next week, we have a Zoom call meeting just to update our vet information and make sure everything is all checked out and good to go and we're ready for pickup. And then Friday of next week, I'm gonna be leaving school early. That's gonna be great because I don't like sitting in my studio class for 5 hours. It's just a little bit too much. So Friday of next week, not this coming Friday, but the next one, that's when we're going to be picking up the puppy, bringing her home, and it is going to be quite the drive to get her. My mom is not super stoked about driving 2 hours. Right now, the dog's name is Nettie, which is not the worst name, but like the name Nettie kind of makes me think of a neti pot. A neti pot is. Do I want to tell you what a neti pot is? I don't know if I. Basically, a neti pot is something that you can use if your like nose is clogged from like cold and your nose is full of mucousy stuff. You can use a neti pot and it clears out your nose, but it is, don't look it up, it's really gross, just take my word for it. And if you're wondering why Juniper, other than the fact that Junie would be a really cute nickname, it's because anyone who read Percy Jackson as a kid, maybe they've already made this connection, but in the Percy Jackson series, Percy Jackson's best friend was named Grover, which is what my current dog's name is. In the book, Grover had a girlfriend who was a, like, I think it was a wood nymph, tree nymph, something like that. It was some kind of nymph. Her name was Juniper, which is also a plant. Percy Jackson themed nicknames, this is the perfect opportunity to have another Percy Jackson name in the household. I also have a rabbit named Piper, who I also named after a Percy Jackson character. So my computer just died, so that's why my little light just went out. Yeah, I think that's everything for the update. I think that's everything you need to know.
Gonna grind, don't shake my shine. You could do me wrong, I'ma be alright, cause you could try to pull me back down, but it's gonna take you a while.
Hi, I just got out of class and basically my mom went off to run some errands and she's gonna be coming back, and when she comes back we're gonna leave to get the dog. So that's really all that's going on right now. I'm just waiting for her to get back. Right now the only thing I'm like truly feeling is exhaustion, because I think I slept for like an hour and a half. I did not fall asleep last night. It wasn't even that I was nervous for the puppy necessarily. There's just a lot on my mind. There's a lot going on right now and I'm just tired. I don't know. That's just something I wanted to mention. I think I'm gonna take a nap for maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and then pack my bag and pack a lunch and get ready to go. So I will see you after my nap. Your sister's coming home.
You fell into me and I didn't know what to do, 'cause you fell into me and I fell backwards too.
Their pictures.
But now I know how
Oh boy,
it
we're just
feels
bringing our baby home.
to fall in love with you. And now I know how it feels,
My face.
Oh, she
and I
loves
hope that
you.
you know too. 'Cause I never felt this
Everybody
way
loves you.
about anyone else. When you fell into me, I didn't know what to say, 'cause you fell into me and you swept me away.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so before anyone says anything, I know that the best thing to do is to introduce two dogs on neutral territory, but the best thing that we could come up with just for a couple minutes is to just have them meet in the driveway, since Grover doesn't really spend that much time in the driveway. Grover definitely approached her and was a little overbearing, but he wasn't aggressive. He didn't growl, bite, or snap or anything like that. He just kind of towered over her and looked down at her like, hey, who are you and why are you at my house? And then Junie, in turn, was very submissive. She actually peed a little bit, which occurred for the next few months every time something either scared or excited her, so that's great. Okay, it's just me. Alright. Junie, meet Grover. Grover, you're back here. Alright, well, I tried.
Hey, you be nice. Yeah, you be nice.
Okay, so that noise right there, he did make a couple times in the next few days, but he only made it once the first night, so that was good. And every time he made that noise, we discouraged it because we didn't want him growling at the puppy, because obviously she's a puppy. She's gonna do things wrong. We don't want Grover to get used to growling at her for literally the smallest things. But now in present day, June 2021, he really doesn't do that. The only time he ever does that is if she bites him really hard, because sometimes I play and she just bites a little bit too hard. So then he'll turn and growl at her. Or another reason is sometimes he'll get like food possessive. If we give him like a snack, like for example, if we give him table scraps or something, sometimes he'll turn and he'll growl at her. But he never does anything like to physically hurt her. He'll just kind of turn and growl at her. If he wanted to, he definitely could hurt her. He's big enough, but he never does. He's a very good boy. So just wanted to make that very clear. Hi, Junebug. Hi. Hey, no bite. Oh. So the first day was kind of hectic. Little old me really thought that because she slept in with me, she was going to have a very calm first day with us. Boy, was I wrong. So my mom left me babysitting her while she took Grover to Tractor Supply and to go to the park in the morning. She left me alone with Junie for a couple hours, and I swear every 5 seconds, Junie would put something into her mouth that she was not supposed to put into her mouth, and I had to go chase her down. This is even after I thought I puppy-proofed the living room. She would reach up, she grabbed bills to put in her mouth, she grabbed pencils, pens, shoes that I even stacked onto other objects, she somehow still reached them. It was kind of insane. She would calm down for maybe 10 minutes, take a tiny little 5-minute cat nap, and then be super energized and run around the room and try to destroy everything again. When people say that getting a puppy is exhausting, they're not kidding. It's definitely been a wild ride bringing Junie home, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Junie really is one of the sweetest dogs, and I'm so blessed to have her as my puppy. However, she's a mischievous little scamp, and sometimes she do be eating my food before I can. She's not perfect, she's still a puppy, but just recently she's been really good about not peeing in the house, which my mother and I both greatly appreciate, and she's getting better about basic things like not chewing on everything we own. She still chews on the majority of things we own, but not everything. She's learned to not step on my laptop when it's in my bed. That was one of the first things I had to teach her, considering I'd Zoom classes every day. When we first got her, I think she was like 22 pounds, and then by now I believe she's roughly 30 pounds, and she's just been a happy little puppy. Honestly, I wish I had that much energy. With the conclusion of this video, I also wanted to just say a couple things on a more serious note. Please don't see this video and think, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a dog today or tomorrow. Because what you didn't see in this video were days and weeks of research that I did, the amount of hours I spent watching puppy training videos and videos on different dog breeds and all the books that I read, and even then it was still a very imperfect transition here. Please do not get a dog just willy-nilly, and if you do decide to get a dog, please put a lot of consideration into the breed and type of dog that you bring into your household, because it definitely matters. And I'm definitely not perfect. I've definitely made mistakes. Literally earlier today, Junie tried running off with a plastic knife and I had to go rescue her. I try to learn every single day ways that I can improve as a dog owner and make sure that I'm a responsible dog owner. So that's something I wanted to say before I wrapped up this video. I am glad that we brought home Junie, and I think she really brought this family together when we needed it most. And I can't wait to see what adventures we tackle next. That's all for today's video, guys, so if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up because that's a thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!
You fell into me, I didn't know what to say.